Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Shima. Over the course of 2026, I'm playing the game Persona 3 Reload. Only I'm trying something a little different. I'm going to match the pace of the game. That's right, I'm playing this game one real day at a time. Please enjoy this different take on the game in a series I'm calling Persona a Day. Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Shima, and today is Thursday, May 21st. So, as I like to do, I want to talk about what we did yesterday in-game first. This gets us all caught up and ready to come into today. Then we'll do today's gameplay portion and see where that takes us. And then after that, we'll come back here to the desk and talk about it a bit and see what sort of other meaning we can assign. And for anyone watching on YouTube, I will have timestamps available in the description if you want to jump to a different section. I do also want to mention that since this is a full playthrough, we will be encountering spoilers, so please be aware of that. Okay. So let's start off by talking about what we did yesterday on Wednesday the 20th. It's been exam week all week in school. Those started back on Monday, and they've continued. They will go all the way until Saturday, actually. So yesterday was our third day of exams already. It seemed like the morning questions dealt with science and physics. Yesterday, I actually had the chance to answer a question myself. You'll remember maybe that Monday I didn't have any chances for that. It just played out for me. But yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday I had chances to answer questions. Yesterday's dealt with the topic of what tools were used to help study the understanding of Earth's rotation. And I remember when we covered that back in class, the answer was pendulums. That came right back to me as soon as I saw the question, and that was super rewarding to make that tie-in to something we covered probably 2 weeks ago now. And to see that it must have stuck when we talked about it in class. So that was the answer I went with, and the character said he felt confident in that answer, which was a good confidence build for me as well. So we didn't see a whole lot beyond that in the day. It sounded like the tests went well. We haven't really seen a whole lot in-game specifically during exam week. We've had shorter episodes for that. So it's really given us that chance to kind of assign some of our own meaning around the rest of the day. Because it is still a full day. Yesterday, the 20th was still 24 hours, despite it only being 2 or 3 minutes of actual gameplay. So I like to think that after school, even though there weren't any extracurriculars running, we headed back to the dorm. I like to think that yesterday we got something quick to eat and just to get back to our studying, and then maybe we found Yukari down in the lobby. Maybe she was studying on the couch down there, going over some of her notes. And maybe she didn't mind if we grabbed the chair next to her and just kind of did our own review. Just kind of that nice, quiet, simultaneous study session. Maybe we bounced questions off each other on the tests we have coming up today. Just kind of keeping that group testing vibe going, even though the game didn't specifically show us that. And then I'm sure we were able to wrap things up at a reasonable hour and get to bed so that we were fully rested coming into today. And so on those notes, I suppose we will get into today and see how that goes for us. I'll hope for another good day of exams. Okay. So as it's been, this is actually the end of yesterday's test where I had just answered the question and felt confident in the answer, which you'll like to see. And I think once we advance here, we'll get right back caught up to today. Here's that day change already. So we are caught up with the real calendar again. It is Thursday the 21st in-game. The question seems familiar. And as I've said every day, I'm not using any sort of guides for this. So there's that, even though this isn't a video game test, there's still that little bit of apprehension with me. It's like, okay, I hope I can do well on this test. I tried to pay attention in school, so we'll hope it goes well. Which of the following is generated by a pantograph? Okay, I do remember talking about pantographs in class, because I remember specifically getting that question wrong when the topic came up the first time. We were asked what the controller device on top of the train was that provides the train with power. I was given a couple choices, pantograph being one of them, but I had gone a different direction. So I wasn't right in class, so hopefully the choices here have something to do with generating energy for a train, because that's my recollection from class when I got it wrong the first time. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty confident on electricity here. I don't think magnetism is going to be the answer. Heat doesn't make a lot of sense. Cold air, definitely not. So I'm going to go with electricity on this one. And that moment of truth. All right, I feel like I gave the right answer. That's that kind of cool redemption feeling of getting it wrong in class back when we were asked the first time and kind of feeling like, I knew I wasn't going to get them all right throughout this playthrough, but it's nice to have that second chance here now to prove myself and be able to look back on something I wasn't able to do correctly the first time and apply it correctly this time around. I'm making progress as a student. You gotta love it, right? So yes, I feel like I've given the right answer. And there it is once again, as it's been all week. It was a very, very fast visit to Portal, or to Persona today. We'll be seeing Portal sooner than later. But let's get back to the desk and talk about what little we did today before we move forward. Okay. So, here we are again. That was another very fast day, but that was the end of our in-game side of Persona 3 Reload today. We didn't see a whole lot again. It was a very, 5-minute stream sort of thing again, so it'll make for a short video upload later. But it was still a good day. I especially feel rewarded the fact that we're keeping that positive momentum going on these exams. It was nice to see a question that I'd had before that I was incorrect with on my first time through, being able to kind of come back at it today and have another chance at it and to prove that I learned something. So walking away from an exam like that, feeling like I actually did learn the material, is just that extra bit of rewarding. But yeah, I mean, we didn't see a whole lot for the day, just like the rest of this week has been so far. Likewise, we didn't have any chances to do anything in the evening hours. But, that just gives us our chance to make our own story again. So I'm sure maybe we stopped somewhere on the way home and, got food. Picked up something at the takoyaki place at the mall, or a place we haven't normally been. Just something quick and small we can grab to eat on the way. And to come home and just get back into studying. I'm sure our character knows what topics are coming up on tomorrow's exams, but I'm not sure what those will be. But hopefully he was able to get back to the dorm and just keep that study session going. We've made our own narrative story about the different people we've studied with this week, and I don't think we've planned anything with Mitsuru, so maybe she was studying diligently when we got back, and she just invited us to pull up a chair at the table across from her and go over some of her notes again, since we missed some time in early April while we were recovering. Maybe that was a chance for her to just clarify things for us if we had any questions while she did her own review for whatever's coming up on Friday. Again, we're not going to see any of that because this is just how we're interpreting our evening went, but I like to think that maybe we were able to do some studying with her, get her opinion on some things, get her direction on the way we should approach things. And she seems very well organized on all that, so I'm sure it was very easy to understand and follow. And she would definitely make sure we got to bed at a reasonable hour so we didn't overstudy and end up tired tomorrow. So we probably turned in at a good time and got another full night of sleep to take us into Friday. That brings us to the end of Thursday the 21st. It was another positive day of exam progress, and I hope I can keep that momentum going. I want to thank you all so much for being here today. My name is Tom Shima, and I stream this Persona a Day series every day live at 12:30 Eastern Time. So if you ever want to be here for that, that's when you can be. I also upload each day's playthrough to YouTube, so if you want to catch up on the current day or any other day, those will be available on a playlist there. So I hope everyone just has a wonderful Thursday. We can see the weekend getting closer, so hopefully we're doing the best we can to get through the week and get to something fun afterwards. But again, I've been Tom Shima. I thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again. With that, we've reached the end of the day. Please look forward to next time to see where the game goes from here. This journey is being streamed live on my Twitch channel if you'd like to be there in person for the experience. Links and schedule details can be found in the description. I'll keep uploading each day's session to this channel so you can keep watching here. Once again, I'm Tom Shima. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you again as I continue the series, Persona a Day. What will tomorrow bring?